Welcome to Perspective Switch. Today's guest is Soleil. We're here at the Template in Ocean Beach, San Diego. This place is kind of like a cafe. They offer coffee to cacao and kava, but they also have events almost every day, from improv to clown yoga to live music and open mic. And thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Yeah, stoked to have you here. That was a good introduction. Template, in a lot of ways, is a catch-all community center. Like you said, there's an event pretty much every night. Yeah, it's really fun to just consistently see what comes through the door.
Yeah.
And what the community wants. Like I was saying, it is a template. We wait to see who wants to do something, which is very consistent with people coming in and sharing something, and then we try to think, okay, how can we take their passion or idea and put it in this template? And that's why the schedule's packed, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you describe the frame of the template?
The template has a mission statement of being the template for the community. Mm-hmm. I would say when it started 8 years ago, actually, on Voltaire and Cable in a household, it was an artist collective, and still is an artist collective. And at the time, we were trying to think about this weird, wacky house that we were living in that kind of felt like the template now, just in a household.
Yeah.
With a stage, and had like all kinds of art everywhere, and different vignettes in each room. That was very interesting. Like we had a big purple hallway and turf grass, things from the ceilings, and all kinds of lights, and had a little place called the Temple, and it was very, very interesting. But we were thinking, like, even in the first month, of like, what is this place to us? Why are we doing this? Mm-hmm. You know, and we looked around at the beautiful community here, and we thought, you know, I think this feels kind of like a template to the community. Funny enough, at the time I was sitting on a John Lennon chair by this artist Owen Burke. We still have some of his artwork, actually. He was the first artist that curated the first template show. And I was sitting on it, and I was like, what would John Lennon think of this place? And I was like, I think he would think it's a template to this community.
Yeah.
And that's essentially how it started. So I guess to answer your question, it's a little difficult to understand even in ourselves what the template actually is and what the framework is. But you could say that it is a artist collective, community center, venue, cafe. It kind of feels like where it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I would also add, it feels like a safe space to be your authentic self and to like really express and to have a lot of fun doing it.
Absolutely. That is a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. We've always felt this wonderful energy in all renditions of the template, especially this one. It is absolutely a safe space to stretch out, be who you are, mm-hmm. be you and your uniqueness. Everyone a part of the template, I think, can really resonate with. Everybody is special because they're unique. Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't matter what you're doing or how good you are at it or anything. You're doing you, and that's the only person that can do that.
Yeah. I remind myself that as I do podcasts, and I'm looking at other people who inspire me, and sometimes I think, oh, they're better than me and all this stuff. But when it comes down to it, I am the only me. And whatever I do and put out there is very unique to who I am, mm-hmm. and the people that I get to talk to too. Mm. So I think it's so valuable to always remember that. Your house had vignettes. What's the definition of a vignette?
Vignette is like small, or it doesn't have to be small. It's different areas of a building that have been created into an experience.
I love that so much. That's so inspiring, because in my house growing up, my mom and my dad lived upstairs. We lived in Philadelphia, so there were floors. Oh, cool. And they lived upstairs, and she had her bathroom was like Roman themed.
Whoa,
And she
okay,
had like
yeah.
marble and she
Yeah.
had these Roman columns. And then she had this other room that was like antique and she had her like grandparents' old furniture. And then her bedroom was like kind of funky. She would take furniture and paint it. And
Oh,
I
no.
loved that she did that. Like, I feel so inspired. My bedroom is jungle themed. And I didn't know like that there was actually a word to this. And I love it. It makes living so much more enjoyable. Like I
Yeah.
love like walking to my bedroom. It's jungle. Then my bathroom's kind of, it has like hummingbirds and butterflies and it's
Yeah.
like blue.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. I think having that in any space is really important. It's almost feng shui in a way to have different
Yeah.
areas of your house be different things and have like intention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Intention is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom was
Most
very
powerful.
intentional
Mhm.
and she passed away when I was 12
Mm.
and my
Sorry to hear
father, it's okay. I try not to, I realize when that comes up and people always say I'm sorry, I'm just like, oh no, I'm like, how do I acknowledge this better instead of just brushing it off? But thank you.
It's a really good point, though. Yeah.
So my father kind of
Very interesting.
would just like take whatever people were giving away, he would take it and like that's his now. Like his living room's kind of just my grandmother's old stuff. And where was I even going with that? I guess like I kind of started adapting that, just like, oh, like someone gave this to me, I'll take it. But now this past year and a half, I've stepped into like, no, I want to be intentional with my stuff. Like I want to feel good in my space.
Having intention, yeah. Well, that's interesting, with the way your spaces, the way you grew up and your mother having intention in different areas of the house and then you doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's somewhat generational in a way, like you think about people in your life doing these different things. And my sister and I, we grew up around Cirque du Soleil. So that's actually, Soleil is actually a nickname of mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I have many nicknames, almost too many nicknames.
Yeah.
Do
you have a favorite one?
Right now I'm digging Soleil.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty
cool. How long
cool.
have you been Soleil for?
Almost like, I'd say like 9 months.
Oh, okay.
Not that long. Yeah, I've been, a long time ago, someone nicknamed me Sunshine because they actually thought I looked like the quarterback from Remember the Titans, which his name's Sunshine. And because I used to be in the video broadcast world.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude was like, we were actually on a plane going to do a fly-in Denver, and the whole video crew was there, and it's like, this guy looks like Sunshine, and everyone's like, Sunshine, on the plane. But eventually the sun was dropped, and it was just Shine, which I kind of like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And my last name's
amazing.
My pseudo last name is Ray, R-A-Y.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a family name that's been around for a very long time that reaches back generation to generation.
That makes sense. I was trying to do a little bit of research on you because I like to just know some background to ask questions in that direction.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find anything. I was like, oh well. I'll do research on not Ocean, the template.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. It is. So yeah, my sister and I, we grew up with Cirque du Soleil. So talk about like experience. They are the masters at experience.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk into a Cirque du Soleil show, you are transported to a different reality through almost every sense. That really inspired us in so many ways to be who we are now. And I think you can take different parts of Cirque du Soleil and even pare it down to something like a vignette and just see like different parts of the show and like, what would this part of the show look like if it was in this 5x5 area? And I think we did that growing up. We like created little experiences for ourselves through Ford's art, whatever, just having fun. That kind of transferred into this. Lucy, my sister, Lucy Ray, she is a professional clown. She travels the world doing it. doing amazing things, not only for entertainment, but social justice and community awareness. But you can kind of see it in the template a lot. It's very clowny as well.
Yeah.
She helped with the template tremendously and is a founding member as well. But yeah, that's how I think you can kind of look around and think like, oh, there's like circus elements in this area. And you could kind of pull something from almost anywhere you look and it'll like remind you of something or just be. Yeah, and it's not all us though. It's not my sister and I. It's like this is a much larger community than it even seems. When you look around, you can almost every direction is a different artist as well, which is really incredible.
When I came in here the first time, I thought Burning Man.
For sure.
Is it inspired at all by Burning Man?
I mean, we've been to the Burn many times, a lot of us. Yeah. On the ground floor of the template.
Yeah.
Myself, I've been 6 times. So yeah, there's definitely some Burn elements to it. Yeah,
Are you going again
talk
this
about
year?
vignettes. Burning Man is the best at vignettes. That literally is what it is technically.
Yeah.
You're just jumping from one vignette to the next. The template definitely would be a cool Burning Man installation. Too bad we can't just pick up the whole building and
that would be really
move it
cool.
there.
One day, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could be a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to try.
Are there any other businesses that you've had?
We got the honor from our good friends at the Balboa Bar and Grill and our landlord, Uptown Investments, to start a new project that is in Bankers Hill called the Unknown Showroom. That's like if the template was kind of a club. And it's really cool because there's a massive dinosaur T-Rex head over the bar that was donated to us from Unifest, and these huge hexagon panels, and I myself do video, so I video mapped the entire building, so picture the template, but with a ton of projectors around it. That is a project that I would say is, I know your question was probably alluding to the past, but this is one that we're just so excited about.
Yeah.
And we're getting a lot of help being able to accomplish this, which has just been absolutely incredible. We never thought we would open a second place.
Oh, wow.
But when you I think it's, if you're just open to the flow of life, things just kind of come at you and you can't really say like when you'd like to do it, It's like, oh my God, look at this incredible opportunity. Sure, we'll stack another thing on the mix.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be pretty special.
Wait, so is it music?
Yeah.
So you said it's like a club, so it's going to have, is it going to be like EDM music or kind of just everything?
Everything, live bands, DJs, all that.
That's going to be really cool.
Yeah, we're hoping to open up 5 days a week, hopefully in June.
Yeah, because there's not that many venues that have like this vibe that's also music.
Yeah.
There's like a million clubs.
Yeah.
With like mainstream music.
Yeah.
But that's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's going to be really fun. Yeah, and we've already had a decent amount of shows there.
Oh, so it's already open?
Well, it's like per appointment.
Okay.
Technically, at the moment, it's Afternoon Umbrella Friends. They're doing an event tonight, actually, there. And so it's kind of like different festival organizations approach us, and we have this other place that we're slowly getting together. But what's really nice about doing it per event at the moment is that we can kind of hash it out, because we would like to open up Wednesday through Sunday, which will be really fun. Yeah.
That's amazing. Speaking of fun, what do you like to do for fun, like when you're not working?
That is a really good question, and my partner Marie and I ask ourselves that a lot, because we tend to work all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 7 days a week. There's no day that we don't work.
Yeah.
But it's so in a sense, like being a part of this community is fun in itself, and that's why we also work so much, because it is really exciting, but it is a lot. So we do have to remove ourselves occasionally, and ways that I do that is surfing.
Okay.
I love surfing. It's definitely very cleansing to jump into the ocean and kind of have that little baptism daily.
Yeah. Surfing is amazing. And you don't have your phone with you either, which is like, you can't look at your phone.
Yeah.
It's such a nice disconnect. I love surfing. I haven't been in so long, but I do love that. I love anything with the water.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I'm a Pisces. Fish. Jump in. Just need to do that.
Yeah.
Wash it away. I think no matter what, everyone should be jumping into the water. Yeah. Especially because we're in San Diego, you know?
Did you grow up here?
No.
Okay. Did you grow up in Las Vegas?
Didn't really grow up anywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, we traveled a lot.
So your family was in Cirque du Soleil?
Mm-hmm. My mother and father was in Cirque du Soleil. My dad is still with Cirque. But my mom was a part of a program called Cirque du Soleil, which is a program where essentially they would find underprivileged kids to join the circus, essentially, and find like a different avenue of life, especially if their circumstances weren't necessarily the best, or they needed help or any kind of way. And it's a fantastic program, because I literally saw kids who were my age at the time join these programs, and then we kind of grew up together, and then they joined Cirque du Soleil. Like, absolutely incredible. Really, really cool program. She eventually became a therapist with her own practice. But yeah, my dad's still with Cirque. We traveled all around the States, mostly. We were, funny enough, born in Minnesota. At the time, my father was working with the Guthrie Theater, which is an amazing theater in St. Paul. Huge productions, amazing set designs, absolutely inspiring. And then we quickly joined Cirque du Soleil and just kind of went all around the States. Mostly like all the corners of the States. I never lived outside of the States, something I would like to do.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to do that now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty rooted.
You're very committed. You have a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. But traveled a lot. But yeah, Vegas was a big part of our lives because of Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah. Were you rooted in certain places? Like, so were you in like Philadelphia for a month and then Florida for like 2
mostly
months?
like years.
Years.
Like, yeah. So we'd go to a show and we'd be there for the show until it kind of got up and running, and then we would move. Because my dad is a technical. He jumped around positions, but mostly technical director, production manager, director of construction for residential Cirque du Soleil shows. And now he just kind of flies all over the world. Now he does the like outside of the United States things after we went to college.
Would you consider yourself spiritual?
That's a really good question. I think for anyone to think about. I would consider myself spiritual in the way that I believe in the flow of the universe.
Okay.
I feel like the universe is constantly talking to us in a lot of funny ways, like almost a cosmic joke kind of way. Mm-hmm. And if you're open to listening to it, it will show you so much. And it's definitely helped me a lot in my decisions, or not even decisions, just kind of the way I live my life. Like seeing something and seeing it as a sign. Yeah, little things. Yeah, I would say I am spiritual, but not in the regular sense of I I have a religion that I have adapted in my life that I follow strictly.
My question off of that one would be, have you had any profound, it could even be like a realization, or it could be a spiritual experience where you're just like, whoa.
Yeah. Like one moment, or
It could be a moment. It could be an overarching lesson. It could be like a day, an experience, a month.
I've definitely had moments in my life where I realized I needed to change something, or I had like an aha moment in some ways. The biggest thing that has changed my life was just to adapt the flow of where life is going, and not try to push anything. You know, like there's things that you obviously want, you know, like I would like a good house. I want good food. I would like money. All these things I think are very easy to think about and want. But I noticed if I try to force any of those things, it just becomes difficult, you know? And so I think the power of manifestation is very real, and the way that you can have things come to fruition is not by thinking about it every single second of the day.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, it's actually like a little bit of the opposite. Put it out into the world, have it in your mind, in the back of your mind, when you're going down the river and you kind of see it passing by. You know, maybe then you could swim towards it a little bit more. But if the river's going too fast and you know that you paddling to it is going to like exhaust you and possibly drown you, like you shouldn't be paddling towards that. It should be like, oh, hey, like this is an easy stop kind of thing.
Yeah.
Look, there's a branch right here and a pile of money.
That is so important. I feel like I was taught to force things. And so I have an accounting job and I have this podcast, and my whole life has been kind of like forced, pressed. And I'm sure there is this ease and intuition built into everything I've ever done. But I'm realizing now that like I can't force things. I think sometimes it just takes so much energy, or it just lowers my energy to this like frustrated, annoyed, like I'm like, I just want to get this done already. And then like that brings time into it. Like I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
So I need to force it right now. But I'm learning this: surrender, patience, slow down. You have plenty of time.
Yeah. You have a lot of time. It's pretty surprising. Yeah, but it is also surprising how fast time can go.
Right?
I can't believe that we're already 3 years into this rendition of the template. Shocking. It's pretty incredible. Yeah.
I think knowing how fast time goes is so inspiring for starting that thing that you want to do right now. Like
Yeah.
Start right now, because it's going to be a year before you know it.
You know, someone told me that I feel like right before we moved into this building, they were saying, I forget what project they were working on or what they were doing. I think they were learning music. They said, if you work on something every day, no matter what it is, something good will happen. You will be able to do it in some capacity. And I know that's such an easy concept. And I think it was literally just someone like at a party when I was hanging out. Like it wasn't someone that I really even knew that well. But when they said that, it hit me hard. It was like, whoa, like how obvious is that?
My favorite question to ask everyone is, if there was one message that you could say to every single person in this world, what would that message be?
Relishing in your uniqueness is the best thing you can do for your creativity and your self-worth, and just knowing that you being unique, only you can do that. No one else can be you. No one else can sing like you. No one else can paint like you. No one else can do anything like you because you're the only one that can do it. Just like how we all look different. Same thing with our creativity or passions in general, wherever it is or whatever it is. I myself found out that at a young age, at like 11, when I was playing harmonica, I was playing silly nursery rhymes while this other kid was like ripping it on the guitar, and I was just like, oh my god, like I'm never gonna be like this kid. And I realized though that when I started messing around with the harmonica and having fun with it, some of my friends, they're like, whoa, that's kind of cool. I was like, you know what? Yeah, it is cool because I'm doing it, and it doesn't matter how I do it. It's unique to me, and that made me feel special. And then I jumped into music pretty hardcore, and I made some weird sounds. And if other people think it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's unique to me, and I liked it. And I think that's what I would like to tell the world, is that if you like what you're doing and it feels good to you, it is really special because no one else is doing it like that. Come into the template, have your tea, your kava, your cacao, your coffee, and sit down and just think creatively. Think about what you would do with the template. That's a fun little practice. Maybe it could become a reality. Please tell us what you think. But also think creatively on a larger scale, on your scale, what you would like to do in your life and how you like to be creative. And tell us about that too, because we're all ears. This is a safe place to be creative. Or don't tell us. Go into a corner and paint, and
Yeah.
in the template. We love seeing people come in and actually drawing or writing poetry or expressing themselves creatively. That's what this place is for. It's a safe place to create.
Thank you so much. That's so inspiring.
Thank you.